Today's AskReddit post. What did a friend do that accidentally turned you on? Oh boy, this is gonna be a good one. Let's get started. She said, dude, feel my heartbeat, then took my hand and placed it on her tit. Maybe that wasn't an accident? He sent me a Spotify playlist of songs he said made him think of me. It was all romantic love songs. He denies there was an ulterior motive, but we've been married for 2 years now, so I think he's lying. LMAO no. Def's not romantic. What are you talking about? Plays Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. One of the songs was Odds Along by Bare Naked Ladies. We had it as our first dance at our wedding. A female friend asked me to smell her perfume on her neck. The way she leaned back into me and tilted her head was the turn on before I even smelled it. Bared neck is a sign of submission. Makes you want to just go all primal. Yes, it makes me want to sink in a deep rear naked choke. Joe Rogan, is that you? Tom about Joe Rogan? Beast of a guy. Never met him though. I knew a girl from a few parties. She was cute, but we never really jived, so I didn't think much of it. Just one of the party butts. One day I went into her work, Subway, and I noticed she was extremely patient and kind to this guy who had mental issues and also this very old man. Both seemed to be regulars. She knew their names and asked about personal life questions, and you could tell it really brightened these guys' days up. I swooned hard. I don't know if it turned me on per se, but I saw her in a whole new light and was borderline infatuated at that point. Nothing came of it really, as we ended up at different parties or something. But man, I've never gone off the deep end so fast. This is really sweet. Yeah, this is one of the only ones I've found so far that wasn't like physical. Don't get me wrong, the physical ones are still sweet, but this is next level. In high school I had really bad muscle aches in my shoulders and back. And one day my best friend offered to give me a massage. He had really strong hands and it was about the most relaxing and most arousing massage I've ever had. And he was a complete gentleman about it. Anyway, we're married now. Grinning face with clenched teeth. Oh, that's so nice. Grabbed my neck and pulled me down to talk to her. We were working in a crowded bar, and she's about 5 feet 0 inches. I had a face full of cleavage with her mouth right in my ear. Was a little difficult to suppress some blood flow at that point. Some blood flow? You mean some blood flow to your brain to concentrate on what she was saying? Wrong head. Accidentally found one of my odd turn on spots. Anyways, we're married. Not to each other, but we're both married. Edit. For everyone asking, the weird spot is my wrist. No idea why it does, but it does. A happy ending all the same. Depends where that spot is. Des Moines, but not the one in Iowa. Made sustained eye contact while talking about something they knew more about than me. It's not hard to make me fall a little in love, LMAO. Oh yeah, tell me more about the superiority of Tupperware containers, you slut. You like that, you ducking retard? Asterisk. I too choose this guy's dead wife. And my ex. Put her feet in my lap when we were on the couch. It's not a foot fetish thing. It was just the confident audacity she had when she did it. I just imagined you smacking her feet off your lap. LOL. Excuse you. Mum. TSSSHHH slaps feet off lap. Friend of mine way back in high school wanted a chance to really slap someone, cause she thought it looked fun in movies. Me, thinking she's super hot, didn't mind at all. Had a red face and a boner the entire next class. Kid in my high school who I'd known since elementary but never really been close to. He was pretty average as far as looks. Not really my type. His mom was the local piano teacher, so I assumed he knew how to play, but he'd never done recitals or anything cause he had other curriculars he did. Well, we go on a field trip in grade 12. After 8 years of acquaintanceship, and he sits down at a piano that was laying around and starts playing. I was full body shivers, floored by how attractive his piano playing was. It was almost surreal. Changed my whole perception of him. Nothing came of it, but it was super impressive. LOL. Funny how an act like this can put someone in a different light. I had worked with a guy for 2 years, even sat next to him at work for a year and never thought of him sexually. Then one day, I saw him chuckling, literally crying tears of laughter but trying to be quiet, while reading a blog, and I swooned hard. After that, I had a major crush on him and we started reading the same blog, sending each other new posts. By this point, we were sitting at different desks but people would see us both shaking quietly with laughter, and one day, a colleague remarked, "Are you two flirting again?" So it must have been obvious to others as well. Okay, but what is this blog? I want to laugh. Asked me to rub his shoulders. All I wanted was to jump his bones while I was touching him, and I had the sense that he felt something similar. Funny how things sometimes work out, because eventually we became a couple. We are currently a month away from our 11th year anniversary and still very much in love. Happy Cake Day. I was in band and my female best friend asked me to zip up the back of her jacket for her. She pulled her hair up and turned around and IDK man. Something about it. Bro, zip me up. I'm ducking dying over here, man. Are you a part of the bird gang as well? Called me a good girl after I told a story about not putting up with her ex-friend's BS. I had never thought of him sexually until that moment. So long story short, we've been together for about 14 years lol. A ton of redditors go and try this only to be labeled weirdos. Was playing with my hair, then pulled on it to get my attention. Out of the office kinky. He was trying to undo her kinks, but found the naughtiest one. I believe you mean noticed. Ah, a classic. So many guys who didn't realize their friend was trying to seduce them. Maybe she's Canadian and just trying to be polite. Still no way to really be sure. Anyway, the best bet is to keep your wits about it and continue to look for signs. When I was in college, I bought a granola bar from a vending machine and it got stuck against the front glass. I was absolutely devastated. A friend I'd just made from class saw me frantically shaking the vending machine, walked up and so nonchalantly tapped it in the right place, causing the bar to fall out. He then winked at me and said, "Sometimes you have to be gentle." I swooned. Country Mac? No, he's dead. So during a party I mentioned my ability to never lose an eye staring contest. So she tried to beat me. I obviously won. Good lord, those are the prettiest eyes I've ever seen. I roll. I ended up kissing her and stuff. Doing the sex. We actually didn't, but considering this was my first kiss at 17, it ended up pretty nice for me. I bet it was nice you kept your undefeated title. Yes it. Asked me to rub sunscreen on her back. Which anime are you from, sir? High School DxD, sir. Classic. But was to. She full on grabbed my boobs after asking it was okay for her to do so, which I said yes. However, I didn't expect to feel what I felt. I had a work friend that used come over and chat. I didn't find him attractive. In fact, there was someone else I had a massive crush on. One day while he was chatting, I saw his eyes dart quickly at my chest, then straight at my face. I saw his pupils dilate. I've never noticed how expressive his brown eyes were until that moment, and suddenly I thought of him sexually. I've never noticed that before or since with anyone. I had a small crush on her, but she was against a wall, and as a joke I stepped close to her and made a funny face, and she gave me that "you dumbus, if you were anyone else I'd smack you" look, and I melted a bit. How the duck do people identify these faces? All I know is basic faces, like happy, sad, and such. I'm guessing something along the lines of blushing but also playful angry. Please translate the second half into English. So imagine angry but they don't act on it and are smiling instead. She told me I was amazing and we were laying outside watching the stars, and she's so soft, and I'd been quarantined for like 4 months with only aggressive dudes. I'm like 90% straight, but I thought about kissing her right then. 90% MMH. Edit. This is just a stupid joke. Calm down people. Her friend is the other 10%. Girl lifted up her shirt and I was the only one to see. She said it was hot outside. Maybe she thought something else was hot? Yeah, she wanted to give her friend some shade. Was sitting next to her in a very loud bar talking, and every word she spoke smelled like rum and smoke. Mixed with how expressive her face was and how pretty her eyes are, it stirred something deep down in me. That's the kind of moment that turns a friendship into a crush. That's dreamy AF. She's a cop but wasn't on duty. When we met accidentally in the street on a hot summer afternoon, we talked a bit, then heard someone yelling and a young man ran down the street. 2 cops running behind him. She pushed her bag into my hands and jump-started into running after the young man. It was like watching her in slow motion. She was wearing shorts and an armless shirt and I could see her muscles working under her skin. I remember thinking like a panther. As I am a heterosexual woman, this was quite a bit confusing for a moment. Hello friend. It's always possible you may not be as straight as you think. Happened to me. Girls are pretty. Have a good day. Hey there. You are absolutely right. A lot is possible and girls are the prettiest, but I did my fair share of experimentation when I was younger. And while I found kissing women very pleasant, there was never a genuine sexual or romantic attraction on my side. While I totally have felt those for men and especially feeling them for my partner. Have a good day. 2. That's totally fair. I've found I enjoy kissing girls too, but haven't had the opportunity to test if I feel anything further, at least not sexually. Definitely romantically though. That's why I don't identify as straight anymore. Glad you figured out what works for you. Why are we yelling? So many exclamations. 3 things actually. Messing with my hair in any shape or form except pulling. I had recently gotten a haircut and they wanted to feel my head. Lightly touching my neck. I don't fully remember why they did it, but I do at least suddenly feeling safer and other things. Lastly, blowing into my ears. They were trying to scare me but got a different reaction I don't think they had thought of. Bruh. I was sitting at my computer desk and she was sitting on the floor next to me. She wanted to show me something on the computer and sat up, so she was then kneeling and reaching across me to use the mouse. Her stomach was on my thigh and the top of her head was just below my face. The pressure of her leaning on me and the smell of her hair shifted things into a different territory. People leaning over you is incredibly sexy. A coworker who had a crush on me, and who I had a crush on, did this a lot. We never did anything but any excuse to come over to my desk to show me something. He'd put his hands around me and lean down. I could barely breathe. Another time, he leaned down to tell me something in quiet and for a split second, he came too close as if to kiss me. We were wrestling for some odd reason and I'm weak as hell. She was able to pin me down with me on my knees, my hands behind my back and my face squished against the floor. She then got real close and whispered, "Don't even try to fight back. We both know I'm way stronger." I obviously gave up and just let her do whatever. Few weeks after that she asked me to be her girlfriend and we were dating for quite a while. But yeah, so she's single now? It wasn't accidentally, but we took that BDSM quiz and shared our results with each other. We are sexually compatible and my fantasies kinda got the better of me. That sounds like legitimate grounds for making a move. TBH. I went to her house to borrow a DVD and she just got done at the gym. She was wearing a t-shirt with a sports bra underneath. Shirt was sweaty, so she took it off in front of me. She went to go get changed in her room and I was standing in her living room with a massive erection. When I was about 12, I was complaining of my shoulders being sore, so my friend started rubbing them. I was immediately like, holy shit, not now. Because although I didn't really recognize it at the time, it really turned me on. That friend is how I discovered, and is possibly the cause of my shoulder fetish. So you're the reason schools hate people showing shoulders. Finally we found them. She started to call me out on my BS and that for some reason turned me on. That's a weird kink, but I respect that. Flashed me on accident. You should accidentally drop your magnum condom for your monster dong in front of her. That's something only Dr. Mantis Toboggan could pull off. I love seeing its sunny quotes and references and never not laugh at them. The show is the best, at least for its first 10 or 11 seasons. There were 6 of us that needed to fit in a car with 5 seats, so she sat on my lap. Must have been an awkward ride. Bumpy, pokey. It wasn't quite pokey, but I felt it move a few times. She showed me her boob. 10/10 would look again. Edit. Should probably mention a couple of things. 1. She showed me her left one. 2. She showed me in person. 3. We're both underage. And I'm not honestly sure if that's weird, but I'm pretty sure it is. Just the one boob. It's just like one really big one. She went to grab my butt and her hand slipped into my pants. Apparently I've got a nice grab-able butt for a guy. Edit. I've never had so many people want to see my butt and I'm unsure of how to proceed. Edit 2. How do I attach an image on the mobile app? Prove it. Take a poop in front of us and turn it into wine. Turn it into wine. When he takes his jacket off and his shirt lifts up a little to expose his stomach. Jesus Christ, it's hot. Like that bug scene in the Matrix. Why have you reminded me of that? Put one hand around my neck to prove that they were big enough to do so. How small is your neck if someone can wrap one hand around it? I'm a pigeon. Purred like a pigeon. I don't know what's wrong with me. I love this. I was in my bed. Then he just get in my bed and hugged me and I was just hiding my blushing, but he wanted to see my face. We are the best friends now. Never speak up that situation or ask why he did that. Yeah, he totally liked you and has been stuffing down his feelings by the sounds of it. Oh, for sure. Grabbed my phone or iPad off my crotch multiple times. She wasn't careful about it either. Almost every time she'd brush my dick. First time it happened, I looked at her to see if she was trying to get a rise out of me and she just smiled and said, "What? Username checks out." Coworker gave me a smirk and a wink. That misdevious look. My balls were getting tight just looking at her. What do you mean balls getting tight? I don't have balls, lol. Does it hurt? LOL. No, it doesn't hurt. We were having a drink at the local pub after a long shift, and the town drunk came over to our table. I was trying to be polite at first because he was usually harmless, just annoying. This night, however, he kept making lewd comments to me, and I was getting super uncomfortable. So, with the irritation showing clearly on my face, my coworker jumped up, grabbed Drunky Pants by the scruff of his neck and forcefully walked him out of the bar, saying, "It's time for you to leave. We'll be celebrating 4 years together next month." Bro, you actually watched the whole video. I'd give you a high five if I was a human. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe for more great content. See you next time.